You know you should save money. You've told yourself 100 times. But at the end of the month, the number in your account barely moves, and you can't figure out where it all went. This isn't a willpower problem. It's a design flaw in your brain. For most of human history, saving made no sense. Your ancestors lived in a world where food rotted, weather shifted without warning, and nothing could be stored for long. If you found a berry bush loaded with fruit, the smartest move was to eat everything right now. Tomorrow, the bush might be empty. Tomorrow, you might be dead. Your brain learned one rule and learned it deep. Use it or lose it. That rule is still running. Every time you get paid, a very old part of your brain sees resources and wants to convert them into something immediately useful, a meal, a tool, a reward. The idea of leaving resources sitting untouched goes against hundreds of thousands of years of survival programming. You're not bad with money. You're running ancient software in a modern world. But it gets worse because your brain doesn't just push you to spend. It actively tricks you into thinking spending feels better than it actually does. In 2007, a neuroscientist named Brian Knutson at Stanford put people inside an fMRI scanner and showed them products they could buy. When a desirable product appeared on screen, a region called the nucleus accumbens lit up. That's the same region that activates when you anticipate food, sex, or drugs. Your brain treats a new pair of shoes the same way it treats a meal after 3 days of hunger, pure anticipated pleasure. But here's what Knutson found next. When the price tag appeared, a different region activated, the insula. That's your pain center. Your brain literally registers paying money as physical pain. So every purchase is a war inside your skull. Pleasure versus pain, desire versus loss. And your brain has a clever trick to make sure pleasure wins almost every time. It's called the credit card effect. When you pay with a card, the pain signal in the insula is significantly weaker than when you hand over cash. Dragging a piece of plastic across a reader doesn't feel like losing anything. It feels like nothing happened. But when you peel bills out of your wallet, you see the money leave. You feel the stack get thinner. The pain is real and immediate.
A landmark study by Drazen Prelek and Duncan Symester at MIT found that people are willing to pay up to twice as much for the same item when using a credit card versus cash. Not because they have more money, because their brain doesn't register the loss. You're not overspending because you're careless. You're overspending because modern payment systems have figured out how to mute your brain's only natural defense against spending. Now, here's where it gets really strange. Even when you decide to save, your brain doesn't believe you. It doesn't believe the future version of you actually exists. A psychologist named Hal Hershfield at UCLA ran an experiment that changed how researchers think about saving. He put participants in a virtual reality headset and showed them a digitally aged version of their own face, wrinkled, gray-haired, unmistakably them, but decades older. Then he gave them a choice. How much of a hypothetical $1,000 would you save for retirement? The group who saw their aged face saved more than twice as much as the group who didn't. Twice as much, just from seeing what they would look like. Why? Because your brain treats your future self like a stranger. Hershfield confirmed this of brain scans. When people think about themselves in 10 or 20 years, the neural patterns look almost identical to when they think about a completely different person, a stranger on the street. You are, in a very real neurological sense, being asked to hand your money to someone you don't know, someone you've never met, someone your brain does not recognize as you. No wonder saving feels so hard. You're not saving for yourself. You're giving money away to a stranger. And it doesn't stop there. Your brain has another trick that makes saving even harder. Economists call it hyperbolic discounting. Psychologists call it present bias. Your brain calls it obvious. If someone offers you $100 today or $110 in a month, most people take the $100 now. That $10 gain doesn't feel worth the wait.
But if someone offers you $100 in 11 months or $110 in 12 months, suddenly the math changes. Most people wait the extra month. The gap is the same, 30 days, $10. But when one option is right now, your brain overvalues it. The present moment has a gravity that the future simply doesn't.
Walter Mischel demonstrated a version of this with children in the late 1960s in what became one of the most famous experiments in psychology. A child sits alone in a room with a marshmallow. If the child waits 15 minutes without eating it, they get 2 marshmallows. Simple deal. But most children couldn't do it. They stared at the marshmallow, they smelled it, they licked it, and eventually they ate it. Does that sound familiar? That is you with your bank account. The marshmallow is right there. Your brain does not want to wait. And the modern world has figured out how to put marshmallows everywhere. Think about the last time you opened your phone. How many ads did you see? How many one-click purchase options were within reach? Every app, every store, every notification is engineered to trigger your nucleus accumbens and mute your insula. Buy now, pay later. Free shipping if you spend $10 more. Flash sale ending in 3 hours. These aren't accidents. They're designed by people who understand your brain's wiring better than you do. The entire consumer economy is built on one insight. Your brain will almost always choose now over later. All you have to do is make now easy enough. But there's a twist in the science that most people miss, and it changes everything. A behavioral economist named Richard Thaler won the Nobel Prize for a concept so simple it almost sounds like a joke. He called it the nudge. Thaler understood that if your brain is wired to take the easy path, then the solution isn't to fight your brain, it's to change the path. Make saving the easy option. Make spending the one that requires effort. In one of his most influential studies, Thaler and his colleague Shlomo Ben-Artzi created a program called Save More Tomorrow. Instead of asking employees to save more right now, which triggers loss aversion and present bias, the program asked them to commit to saving a percentage of future raises, money they didn't have yet, money that didn't feel real. The results were staggering. Participation rates jumped. Savings rates nearly quadrupled over the course of a few years. Nobody felt the pain because nobody was giving up something they already had. Thaler didn't change human nature. He worked with it. This is the key most people miss. You can't beat your brain. It's been sharpened by millions of years of evolution. It will win. But you don't have to beat it. You have to redirect it. Set up automatic transfers the day you get paid, before your brain even sees the money. Use separate accounts so savings feel invisible. Pay with Pass for discretionary spending so your insula can do its job. Delete shopping apps from your phone. Remove saved credit card numbers from websites. Every layer of friction you add between your impulse and your purchase is a layer of protection your brain cannot override. Because here's the final piece. Your brain doesn't hate saving, it hates loss. That's different. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky proved this in 1979 with prospect theory, one of the most cited papers in the history of economics. They showed that losing $100 feels roughly twice as painful as gaining $100 feels good. Your brain is not balanced. Loss looms larger than gain, always. This is why every saving strategy that frames saving as giving something up will fail. Your brain reads it as a loss and fights back with everything it has. But if you frame saving as keeping what's yours, protecting what you earned, making sure nobody takes it from you, your brain flips. Now loss aversion works for you. Now the ancient wiring is on your side. You're not giving up $100 a month. You're making sure you don't lose $1,200 a year. Every product you buy with money you could have saved is a trade. You're trading future freedom for present comfort. And that trade might be fine sometimes. Life is meant to be lived. But the trade should be conscious. It should be yours. Not your brain's, not the algorithms, not the notifications. You know you should save money. You've told yourself 100 times. But now you know something else. The voice telling you to spend isn't you. It's a survival instinct built for a world that no longer exists, amplified by a consumer system designed to exploit it. The moment you see that clearly, the game changes. You stop fighting yourself. You start redesigning the board.
and for the first time, the number in your account starts to move.